Guess we got a little off track, but love knows a way back through the storms and pouring rain. Got my hands on the wheel and I'm flying, heartbeat loud as the thunder rolls, riding in on a stampede of lightning. I'm bringing back the sunshine, bringing back the sunshine, baby, it's about time. Whoa. Bring it back. Oh, yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the East Coast Winter League at Stafford Speedway. My name is Wes Rowdy Hogue, bringing you the action live here from Vidane TV. If you are watching on Twitch at Strictly94 or Rowdy38, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Vidane TV, be sure to hit that subscribe button as we bring you non-stop action here from the iRacing servers. And tonight we are at Stafford Motor Speedway with the East Coast Winter League. And by my side, his debut here with Vidane TV is Kyle Young. Kyle Young, an avid iRacer, dirt track fan as well, from the Syracuse, New York area. Kyle, how you doing this evening?
Doing great, Wes. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Vidane TV and Stafford Motor Speedway. Super glad to be here to kick off my Vidane TV debut, as you just said. Looking forward to this. I was able to catch your guys' first broadcast of this league for their season opener. Haven't really tuned in too much since then, but excited to dive in and get invested in this myself. The first event of this series was entertaining, good to watch, and something a little bit different. You don't usually see a lot of iRacing leagues do the same car and track combination like your weekly short track would do. So it's a little bit different from the normal iRacing world, but excited to be here and looking forward to seeing how this all works out.
And Kyle, we have in the booth here Dylan Kopak. He is an admin with this league. Dylan, you have a copy.
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Hey, Dylan, if you want to break it down for these new fans that may be watching that haven't watched before, let them know how this process works with you guys, from your qualifying, your heat, your consies into your feature.
Absolutely. So what we do is we obviously start with an hour practice. Everything's dynamic weather, so no one can really come totally prepared. It's all make the changes during the practice. We have a 5-minute time trial, and we advance the top 20 directly into the 75 lap feature from there. Anybody outside that top 20 from time trialing then goes on. We have 2 heats that take 5 cars each, and once the heats are done, we go over to the race, and anybody that doesn't finish inside the top 5, if they're either in heat 1 or 2, they just got to come back next week. There's no really last chance qualifiers after those, so then we just have the 75 lap feature at the end.
Any resets, anything like that?
Nope, there's 0 resets. Everybody that starts the race, that's the only car that they have, and we kind of crack down on the aggressive driving, so they're pretty good with it. They got a good group.
All right, Dylan, we know these heat racers are going to get back going, so we're going to put you back in your admin booth so you can call this thing. Good luck, and we hope to speak to you later.
10-4, thank you guys.
And that was Dylan Kopak. He is the head admin here at East Coast Winter League, and as we are lining up here for our first heat, and again, the top 20 in qualifying don't have to worry about the heats. They go right on to the feature. So we're going to start off sitting at the pole position will be Timmy Plord in the number 1 ride, and next to him will be Anthony Bello in the 51. Starting third will be Tyler Leary in the 34, and next to him in fourth will be the 21 of Corey Stockhart. Starting fifth will be Trent Goodrow in the 31. Next to him will be Garrett Zacharias in the 71. Starting 7th will be Chris Finacciario in the number 8. And starting 8th will be Nacio Adams. That's going to be that's going to be an interesting one to say tonight in the 38. And then rounding out this field will be Matt Swanson so far in the 43. It looks like a couple cars may be gridding still. So that is your field here, Kyle. And we're about to have 12 laps of some hard caution-free racing.
Yeah, indeed we are. Good to start things off here with a couple of heat races. Get some action in here to start off the night. See how these drivers are handling things to get their night ready. Learn some track conditions. Get a little bit comfortable feel for their feature, and hopefully be able to learn and progress throughout.
All right, and Kyle, with this being your first time joining us, you watched them before, you know these guys are pretty dang quick. They know how to get around here on Stafford Motor Speedway, and they know the guys in the back have a long way to go and a short time to get there, as our lights are already off on our iRacing Pace Mustang.
Indeed they are. Getting set to go here. Posted are kind of leaning back just a little bit. Now he's, oh no, I guess the pace car is deciding to stay out another lap here. The lights are off. I'm also seeing that, but he decided to stay out. Maybe the pace car has an electrical issue that we're unaware of.
A little bit of an issue there, but you know it is a Ford Mustang, so you know it's lucky that it's even running right now. So let's just be thankful that this pace car still has power. All right, heading down the backstretch one more time at a slow creep of 45 miles an hour. All of these fast, powerful machines are going in the SK modifieds here. The pace car makes that dip down into pit road. Lights are off, wait for the green flag, and there it is. Timothy Floyd is on the loud pedal side by side with the 51 going into one. It's a drag race.
Dead even battle up front. The two of them touch tires just a little bit in the center, 1 and 2. Now they touch again, and the Polster is going to go through the infield grass. He slams on the brakes to try to get the car to come to a stop, points it back up in the right direction, but he has lost a ton of track position and falls to the rear of the field.
From pole to go home, you're not going to make the show. It's going to be a long battle back into the front in 12 laps. Almost an impossible feat with there not being cautions. He cannot be happy in that one ride as Timothy Floyd. Man, oh man.
No, not at all, Wes. You start up on the pole for the heat race, get all excited, and unfortunately a slight little mistake there costs him all right off of the bat. That's going to hand things over to your outside pole sitter, Anthony Bello, who's got about 2 car lengths over Tyler Leary in second, and then there's a 3-car train, bumper to bumper to bumper, for third on.
As we focus on here to the 21 of Corey Stockhart, he's under fire here from Garrett Zacharias in the 71 as they stay side by side. Your leader, Anthony Bello, starting to widen that lead on the 34, Tyler Leary. These guys are focusing on getting a top 5 position, and that's currently held by Zacharias in that 71. And oh, car upside down, guys. 38 goes flying. Now Nacio Adams goes flying upside down. Caution is out. Caution is out. Man, oh man, oh man. Usually, I don't believe these guys run cautious typically, but man, it looks like to me that he just kind of clips the wall. 43 catches him as well, and he just goes on a rolling. And with no resets, that means you're not going to make it.
Yeah, that's one of the disadvantages to these open wheel modifieds, Wes, is that these, with the tires being exposed, they tend to just instantly grip whatever surface they touch and kind of launch, whether it's another car, another tire on another car, or in this case, the outside wall. He makes contact with the outside wall with that right front, and it just climbs the wall, and momentum sends him over. It wasn't a very violent flip, kind of slid, almost came back on all 4 wheels, but went back on its roof, made a hard shot to the outside wall in turn 1, and then came to a rest on his lid in the infield of turn number 1. So a tough ordeal there for Ignacio Adams. Not how he wanted to spend his heat race either. They'll have a lot of work to do to get that thing ready for the feature.
Now, could this be the big break for Plord in that one? We saw him get turn 2, lap 1. Did not turn out well for him. He's currently sitting position 9. 12 laps in this joint here, Kyle. We should be going green possibly next time by. He has a very long way to go, but a short time to get there. The lights stay on the pace car, so if we do go back green, he's only going to have a couple laps. Not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be a hard feat to manage.
Indeed, it will, Wes. This racetrack is very difficult to pass at. These guys are an extremely competitive group, so he will definitely have a lot of work to do to try to work his way up through the field here to try to better his starting position for the feature. A lot of confidence in him. He knows he's got some speed. He was able to sit on the pole for this heat race. Of course, having to go through the heat instead of just making it directly in through qualifying is obviously not what you want to do, but there should at least be some confidence behind the number one machine there, being able to start on the front row for this heat race. Hopefully he can find a way to rebound and better himself come future time.
Lights are still on the pace car. Looks like they worked about that issue, Kyle. If you want to take a second here, I'm going to try to listen into radio control, see if we are going to go back.
Yeah, currently right now we're being shown on lap number 9. This is a 12-lap heat race scheduled, so the caution light's still on. That should only set up a legal green-white checker come if we were to go green this next time by. So we'll wait to see official word here from the race officials on what exactly is going to happen as we hit the line. The pace car lights, now they go off, field's doubling up, so it looks like we will have that 2-lap shootout to end this first heat race.
All right, and this is going to be 2 laps of chaos, I am sure. Can Timothy Plord wake his way back into the top 5? Can the 51, that Trump 2020 machine of Anthony Bello, can he continue to dominate this race? As we're going to see that pace car take that hard left turn down into pit road, and we are off, working through 3 and 4 very slowly at 45 miles an hour. Only 2 to go here at the line, and they're already wrecking behind us. Already wrecking behind us, ladies and gentlemen.
Big crash right off the start. Another car goes upside down. One blows his motor. No caution as of right now. The car upside down on his lid still sits in the middle of the front stretch. Not quite sure what that's going to do when the field rolls around here. Now the caution flag comes out. Race officials throwing the yellow out, and that will set up a green-white checker now for this first.
One of 2 green-white checkers possibly if we need them. And on our star driver, I would say our focus driver of this race, Timothy Plord, he is in position 6, so he looks like he possibly got through that clean and green. Unfortunately, we do not have replays for you tonight, as we are working with newer technology to give you a cleaner broadcast than what we typically do. No replays yet. Apologize for that, but we're going to kind of let you know what happened here, though, in the back. It kind of just looks like the 21 gets a bad start. He gets booted by the 8, catches the 84, and the 1 was able to just kind of scoot his way on through. So that's how that happened there. And Paul, in the broadcast or in the production booth for the viewers, let them know what is to come here in the future for Verdane Racing.
Yeah, man, we've got a really busy schedule here, Wes. We've got a lot of stuff going on for Tim's Corners Motorsports, and he's based out of Maritime, Canada, so it's been very cool to kind of work with him. We've actually worked with, yesterday we had the big new Smyrna race on Verdane TV, and over 5,000 live unique viewers, which was very, very cool to have, and I was very thrilled to be a part of that. And very glad the track was able to bring us in for that particular event. We were able to really entertain the masses, as it were. And that's kind of the main goal here at Verdane TV. We want to entertain the masses during this COVID-19 nonsense. And you know what? When this is all said and done, we're not going to be going anywhere. We got a bunch of races scheduled. We're here tonight again with the East Coast Escade Modified guys. We're here every Sunday night here with Stafford Motor Speedway. Saturday afternoons, we've got, I think we've got double headers for the next 4 or 5 weeks on Saturday afternoons with the Hudson iRacing Group, as well as the Canadian Karting Series. They've been hooked. We hook them up for Saturdays and Sundays. The Canadian Karting Series runs then as well. So man, we got a lot of racing going on here. Verdane TV. Check us out on YouTube, Verdane TV. Check us out on Facebook at Verdane Racing, and be sure to follow along on our website as well, as we're going to be updating that with all of our TV broadcast information. www.verdane.net.
Lights are off on the pace car. Great information there from Paul Strickland, as well as you're going to see each video. You're going to see our streams getting a little bit better. We've only been doing this for a few weeks, and we've been having tons of action here. So we're going to go single file restart here. 51 gets a jump. Anthony Bello. That's what he wants to see, a clean and green flag run for him. Now, can the one of Plord get his way back into the top 5? As this, we only get one more chance at this, but looks like Plord able to look low in the 71. That's what he wants to see. Almost makes contact with the 71. He's able to clear him barely, and that's what Plord needed. But back up front, the battle rage is on, coming to the white flag.
White flag flies final time for these drivers here in heat race number 1, and it's Anthony Bettel. He's got a rear view mirror full of Trent Goodrow trying to find a way around. How aggressive does Goodrow get here in turn 3? He stays pretty calm on the entry. No harm, no foul. Slight couple taps here to try to move him out of the way, but it's not going to be enough. Anthony Bello will take home heat race number 1 over Trent Goodrow, Tyler Leary in 3rd, Matt Swanson 4th, and Timothy Plord, after the lap 1 turn 2 incident from the pole, is able to rebound for a top 5 finish.
Timothy Plord, great rebound there and recovery, man. It really helps having these small fields when it comes to when it comes to these heat races. You're able to have these issues and be able to bounce back. And now we will file here. We're lining up for our next heat race. If you want to go through the lineup.
Absolutely. Heat race number 2 getting gridded on the front straightaway, and they will line up like this. On the pole in the number 16 machine, that is Nicholas Hovey, and to his outside in the 76 machine is Anthony Bozzella. Anthony Bozzella in the 76, starting in position number 2. Nick Frolino in the number 44 car, he will start in position 3, and Zachary Sangermano in the 47 will line up to his outside in position number 4. Rounding out the top 5 in car number 33 is Ted Groh, and he will be joined on row number 3 by the 79 car of Charlie Dimer Jr. Starting in position number 7, the 89 car of Tyler Alkus, and to his outside, and the number 19 machine is Michael Curtis, starting in position number 8. On the inside of row number 5 is the 56 car of Brandon Wilkinson, and to his outside is going to be the 09 machine, looks like, of Trey Tomeno to wrap up this Heat Race 2 lineup.
I don't think Trey is going to make the field, unfortunately, so rounding out your field will be the 56 of Brandon Wilkinson, but we're going to make another quick pace lap around here one more again. All right, so the top 5 here will, top 5 here will make it to the show. After that, if you don't make this race, you go home. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next Sunday night. If you don't make this, we'll see you next Sunday night. Sorry, so sad. Adios. That's the way it'll work. So, and of course, next Sunday night, we will be back here. One place and one place only. That is Vidane Television, or for short for you millennials, TV. As now, the pace car is working its way back down pit road. We're going to see if that Mustang can get some service while these faster, much more reliable cars get ready for the green flag to come out. And the green shows, and we are racing. It's a 76. Oh, 47 gets hooked on the start. We got a car climbing the wall, Michael Curtis, and then 79 of Charlie Demir Jr. Right off the get-go, ladies and gentlemen. Big junk, as they say on iRacing. 4X, too much damage. We are done as we see the 19. Oh man, 3 drivers already out of this one, ladies and gentlemen. 47 all blowed up. It looks like the 19 hooks the 79, who hooks the 47. Hook and ladders. You're done. See you next Sunday. Don't fight in the pits. That also takes out the 95 of Brandon Wilkinson. He gets some damage. And man, oh man, it didn't take too long at all in this feature.
That's the second time tonight so far, Wes, where we've seen a start or restart crash, and this one happening before these guys even get going. Yes, the green flag was flying, but they hadn't even made it to the start-finish line, and we were already getting ready to put a car upside down for the 3rd time tonight. So we're seeing some aggression here on these starts and restarts, and unfortunately, they're not able to come out of them just quite yet. So I'm sure the race official is going to try to calm that down for the feature, as these are only 12 laps in length. The feature is 75, so if we're doing that throughout a 75-lap feature, attrition is going to be a very important factor in that.
We've seen this in the past, Kyle, that these heat races kind of filter that through. These heat races do a great job of filtering that through. So I think it's going to be cleaner in that 75 lapper. I expect to see some action, but we've seen it before in these races that have heat races that they eliminate some of these drivers. The feature ends up being a little bit cleaner, but we shall see. But that 76 up front, looking strong, I would like to say, but it's kind of hard to say. But on pit road is Michael Curtis in the 19 and Zachary Sangermano. Their days are done.
Want to go back real quick for that first heat race, that those top 5 finishers transferring onto the feature that we mentioned at the beginning of this one. That goes to show you how important that pass was on that final restart for Timothy Plord after having that issue there on the first lap in turn 2. Had he not been able to make that pass and even had that caution to allow himself to bunch back up with the field, he'd be sitting, they'd already be loading up and heading back home, getting ready to prepare for next week. So it goes to show you that it's not over until the checkered flag flies. It's always best to stay in the fight, and you never quite know what happens here. It's racing, it's action-packed, it's always exciting, and things can change in an instant. As the lights now go off on the pace car, we will get this race refired. They will come at the completion of lap number 5, so this will now turn into basically a 7-lap heat race.
All right, we round around in through turn 2 to the backstretch. Anthony Bozzella is your leader, followed up by the 16 of Nicholas Hovey, and this will be a single file restart. Next will be Nick Frolino in the 44. That rounds out your top 3, and we are back green. The leader fires. The leader gets to control the restart here, and he's able to go as soon as the pace car hits pit road, which is pretty good typically, because that will kind of thin out the field here, let these guys fan out, get some green flag laps in, as at least that's the plan, as Bozzella leads them down into turn 3.
Riding on board with the 16 machine of Nicholas Hovey as you see him try to track down the 76 of Anthony Bozzella. About half a car length in between the two of them as they work into turn number 1. He's trying to find a way, running a little bit lower compared to what Bozzella is. For right now, not able to make up much of a gap. He's trying to find a way around, now moves to the outside in turn number 3, trying to find some momentum. He's not able to do so and actually loses a little bit of time to Bozzella as they come off the 4 and hit the stripe to complete lap number 7.
That's your battle on the track in between the 76 and the 16. That is your battle. Everywhere else is single file. The last transfer spot is Tyler Alkis in the 89. He has a sizable lead on Brandon Wilkinson, but that might be changing here as now lap traffic pulling over for our leaders heading into turn 1. But that battle now heating up not only for the lead, but the transfer spot too is starting to heat up. Now we have some side-by-side racing here for the third position as Ted Groh goes underneath the 44 for Lino and grabs that third spot.
3rd through 6th, all tucked underneath of a blanket, fighting for position, fighting for the transfer spot. Now we're side by side for 5th. A little bit of contact from Brandon Wilkinson, moving Tyler Alkis up the racetrack. He does not turn him, but he's able to move him out of the way, take over that position, and now puts a nice gap in between the two of them to try to prevent the retaliation from coming back. Popsicle sticks fly in the air, 2 laps to go, and that could be the transfer move for Brandon Wilkinson to get himself into tonight's field.
Brandon Wilkinson using that chrome horn in an effective, efficient manner there, doing whatever it took there to get into that transposition, which he did. We've seen him the last couple races here not be able to make the big show, or if he did, he started in the back and wasn't able to do much. But the white flag, a white rag is out, 1 to go for Anthony Bozzella up front, and it looks like that transfer position, there's no drama, but the 89 of Alkis has spun out in 6th place, but nonetheless, your winner coming across the line is going to be Anthony Bozzella, Nicholas Hovey 2nd, Ted Groh 3rd, 4th Nick Frolino, and 5th, that final transfer spot, Brandon Wilkinson.
Made the aggressive pass to get it done, but he's able to hang on, and he will race in tonight's 75-lap feature, and that is the 56 car of Brandon Wilkinson. Bit of a rough start there on that second heat race, but once we got it going, they stayed clean and green and put on a good show to wrap up the qualifying process for tonight's feature. Those that are locked in are locked in. We have our field for this feature event. It is going to be 30 cars deep. Those that will not be competing tonight, unfortunately, will have to load up and get ready to head back to the race shop to prepare for next week. Now the drivers will have a 5-minute warm-up session to get things, the last-minute adjustments and comfortabilities ready for tonight's feature.
Listening to the race control and some of the in-car audio, definitely some heated discussions between the 89 and the 56 there about that bump, but nonetheless, 56 came on top. No caution came out, and he went on to win this race. So it just really shows you what a transfer spot will mean for these guys to get into this big show. And it is a big show. It's 75 laps. It's a lot of hard racing, and there's the season means a lot to these guys.
Oh, absolutely so. And even though it's still early on in the season, every race matters. Every point counts. You can't let anything slip by you. So you have to be able to be aggressive, do what you need to do to get into these fields, as those points matter all the way throughout. You never know when the smallest margin of points could cost you dramatically at the end.
All right, guys. So we're going to take a quick moment as we are going to hear the national anthem straight from Stafford Motor Speedway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to rock and roll. You got to hear the Star Spangled Banner straight from Stafford Motor Speedway. Now it is time. It is time to go 75 laps in the SK Modifieds here with East Coast Winter League Stafford Motor Speedway Race 4. And before we saw Alex McCollum dominate the first two races that we've covered, and then he didn't show up for the third race. Well, he didn't make the third race in time. We saw Kyle Eli finally get a W after following in the footprints of Alex for the longest time. Now Alex isn't here, so is Kyle Eli going to go back-to-back or possibly see a new driver to stand on top of the podium here? Only here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Well, Kyle Eli has to absolutely be the favorite going into this thing. He qualified on the pole. 19.020 was his qualifying lap. Because of that, he will start on the pole for tonight's 75-lap feature, but he only had it by 0.03 of a second over Derek Gluchacki in position number 2. Lots of tight times up here in the front of the field. Let's see here. The top, what is this? About the top 15 drivers were separated by less than 2.5 tenths. So lots of speed out of these guys. Should produce a very competitive race. And although Kyle does have that ideal starting spot at the front of the field, having times as close as they are shows that there's a lot of strong drivers in this field. And he is by no stretch of the imagination guaranteed the victory with that pole starting spot.
All right, and as warm-up is concluding here, the cars are going to hit the grid. And while the cars hit the grid, we're going to dial up a driver in the number 46. We're going to dial up a Ryan Libby, who is typically a driver to watch out for. So we're going to see if we can get Ryan Libby on the mic. Ryan Libby, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Ryan, you seem to have a fast machine. You were able to bypass the rest of the event by qualifying in the top 20, which is typically what you shoot for. Ryan, what are you expecting here in this race tonight?
Well, everyone's pretty close. I actually got a new setup in it this week. I'm trying something different again, and just got to get to the top spot, man. It's gonna be a hell of a race. Everyone's really close. It's tough to pass. See what happens.
Now, Ryan, as we go cockpit in your car here, um, right away, the first car you see is Teddy Hodgson. You know, Teddy is a very fast driver. He's a very clean driver. You guys are out here on the outside. What does it take to get to that bottom? Do you have to muscle your way down? You just kind of abide your time trying to get down there? What do you do to get to that bottom?
Well, really, you got to find an opening, but you got to find an opening quick, but you got to find an opening safe. Sometimes if you block a guy a certain way, he is going to get into the back of you, and he's going to turn you. So I try to set my car up where I could run the top for at least 2 to 3 laps so I could at least battle with someone. But sometimes you just got to find your way in, and, you know, sometimes it means roughing a guy up, but you just got to be prepared for him to sometimes hit you back, you know?
That's how short track racing goes, especially here at Stafford and SK Modified. So we're going to put you back into your room here, buddy, and so you can focus, turn 75 laps, and hopefully we'll be talking to you on the podium here in Victory Lane at the end of this one. Good luck, Mr. Libby.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that was Ryan Libby, the driver of the 46 SK Modified here tonight. You already know every time he's out here on the track, he puts on a show. Ryan Libby, one of the faster drivers, cleaner drivers out here. Always excited to see him. You're going to see him in that beautiful white and a red number 46. He will be lined up in the 6th position. So, like it says on the back of the 55 of Teddy Hodgson, it is business time, Ryan. Here we go. Kyle Young, take us away.
Pace car is out of the safety of pit road, leaving the field in control by Kyle Eli. The green flag flies, and we are underway for tonight's 75-lap feature here with the East Coast Winter League. No clear advantage for anybody out front just yet. Slight wiggle there for Derek Bluchacki, and that's going to allow Kyle Eli to clear sole possession of the race lead. And as they work down into turns 3 and 4 for the first time, double file for positions 2, 3, 4, and 5. Eli will lead lap number 1.
The battle now for third as we see Hodgson try to battle on the outside here, try to find his way around the 9, and we got a caution. Caution is out, ladies and gentlemen. Already got a caution. Possibly the 24 was involved. We see him having some issues. That's Mikey Flynn. We're going to take a quick look here. Looks like the 24 got into the back of the 85, sent him around. The 26 knocks the heck out of his door. And those 3 cars were in the incident. All 3 cars get what is called an EOLL, end of longest line penalty. That's Anthony Pizzella, Ted Groh, and Mikey Flynn all have to go to the back of the end of the line right here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Some pretty significant contact was made there between Ray Federuso and Tommy Kreinborg as Federuso came in there and made a pretty significant shot to the left rear of the 85 machine. Not exactly sure what the extent of the damage is for them quite yet, but both cars are on pit road. And actually, we can update you now immediately. That is going to take Ray Federuso out of this event. So the damage is significant enough to eliminate the number 26 car. Unfortunate break for him there. An incident happening in front of him that he had no involvement with and just couldn't find a way around it. His night ends early here just on lap number 2.
You know what really upsets me, Kyle?
What upsets you, my man?
1, my local convenience store being out of Ranch. And 2, preparing for a race all week just to be taken out by lap 2. That really gets under your skin, especially you qualified in your top 20, you made your way up there, you bypassed the heats, or possibly you worked your way into this race through the heat races, and you really worked hard. And lap 2, you're like, oh, you're gone. That goes hand in hand with being out of Ranch.
Yeah, and Ray Federuso was one of the guys that was able to transfer his way into qualifying. He set the 14th fastest lap. Didn't have to worry about any heat races. So I definitely understand that. You get yourself the easy way through the feature, feeling confident about it, and before you even really get it all started, you're on the hook, and a way to load up for next week and try to get yourself prepared. Not the way at all that Ray Fataruso was looking to spend his week for, but that is the unfortunate hand that he was given, and hopefully he'll be able to come back next week to avenge himself from this unfortunate result.
All right, Kyle. The lights on the pace car are like women that look at me. They are turned off. As he heads down pit road, we are about to go green. The green flag is out, and the 7 of Kyle Eli steps on the gas. He gets that lead that he wants from Derek G coming into turn 1 in that 3 ride, and the battle for third, the heat's on. Ryan Blanchard opens up the bottom. 4 Hodgson in that 55 ride. They're battling side by side down the backstretch. In to 3 Hodgson on the bottom. The 9 of Blanchard on the top shelf, trying to get low before the 12 of Cisco can take advantage, and he's able to do so.
Another side-by-side. Oh, I thought we had a side-by-side battle there. A couple cars behind him. Now we got some contact between the 12 and the 9. Cisco getting into the back of Blanchard, trying to move him out of the line, but instead he moves himself out of the line. Blanchard's able to hang on to the spot, but Cisco loses about 3 positions trying to gain. Now he's back on the offense. We've got a car on the wall, just a couple cars behind them. Everybody's staying clean and green, but an unfortunate bump and run not going the way that Kyle Cisco was hoping for, and he drops back a few spots. Now he's side by side for position number 7 with Riley O'Keefe. He's got the advantage here. A little bit of contact there boots him up the racetrack, and he'll be able to win that battle as O'Keefe is barely able to keep the car off the outside wall.
Riley O'Keefe's just sinking like a fat kid off in the deep end. He cannot get his wheels underneath him here, but O'Keefe able to now finally get his wits under him. He's able to get back on the bottom end here. Now he's going to try to get back at Cisco now, sitting at P7, but Cisco not exactly getting the start that he wanted, but back up front though, Kyle Eli doing a great job pacing the field, but a little bit faster than him, according to the lap times, is Derek Bukaki in that number 3 ride.
These top 2 cars have been able to separate themselves from the rest of the field. Jackie keeping a pretty consistent pace with Kyle Eli for the moment. Only about 2 or 3 car lengths between the top 2, but they've got about a second advantage over Teddy Hodgson in third. And now we check out the onboard camera of Gluchacki trying to wheel and deal his number 3 machine to the top position. You can see the gap here in the entry into turn number 1, trying to get around him, trying to find a way to close that gap just a little bit. We're only 13 laps in, but still, you want to make the move as fast as you can. You never know when the cautions are going to fall, if they fall at all, and how many opportunities you'll get to be able to move up to that spot.
So it's Gluchacki? Is that how you say, Kyle?
That's how I'm going with, or what I'm going with anyway.
We've been calling him Glukaki, we've been calling him G, or just Derek. I don't know how the hell you say his name, but the guy's fast, and so we got to keep on covering him, and he's doing a heck of a job doing so. Derek is up front here trying to wheel down Kyle Eli, but you don't want to use up all those rubbers. You only get 1 set here, and you're going to do everything you can because, I mean, I believe because the tires are free, you're able to take them if need be, but Paul Strickland, correct me if I'm wrong, these guys are limited to 1 tire, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not actually able to take tires. We actually heard Dylan Kopek at race 1 of this season. If we see your car get jacked up to get tires put on it, we're just going to disqualify you right then and there. So these guys are able to pit for fuel, maybe add a little bit of weight to the car, help the handling out just a little bit. They're able to fix the car, but they are not able to take tires.
I don't know if you heard that, Kyle, but if they need to add a little bit of weight, are you looking for a ride?
I mean, I'm all for jumping into one of these modifieds in one of these weeks, but it's going to make it hard for you guys to, or at least hard for me to do the broadcast from down there. But I'd like to think of myself as a multi-talented individual and give it a shot, but I guess we'll have to find some takers.
Either you or I fitting into one of these cars would take more than multi-talents. I'm telling you that. They are a squeeze.
Don't tempt me to prove you wrong.
All right, I got the butter waiting in the Vaseline. Go ahead and jump in one. $20 says we're gonna need it. Back up front is the battle of Kyle Eli and Derek G. They're staying right in each other's tire tracks throughout this race. Everywhere else, it's single file, ladies and gentlemen. If there's an action, we're going to call it here for you. But these guys have gotten to a rhythm. This is what you want. As I say that, the 33 spins the 44 going into 1 and 2. Did I jinx it? Absolutely did. Nick Frolino not getting the better end of that one. Somehow the 51 also spins out at Anthony Bello. He has not had any luck since his heat race, but looks like Anthony Bello lost control missing the 44. He did his best to miss him. I stand corrected. The 44 clipped him and sent him around. So altogether, 3 cars getting caught up. The 51 still has not got his car righted yet. It's taking some time for Anthony Bello to get that car pointed back in the right direction here, Kyle.
Yeah, an unfortunate situation there for Anthony Bello. He was looking pretty strong in the heat races earlier on tonight. Doesn't look like that car has too much damage. He is going to bring it down pit side to the attention of his crew to see if there's anything needed to be straightened out and repaired on that number 51 machine so we can try to make somewhat of a charge back through the field. We've got a few other cars on pit road as well. That would be the 98 machine of Ray Parent Jr. Brandon Wilkinson in the 56 is on pit road in for attention. Those guys multiple laps down at the moment, so they're probably still in repairs, trying to figure some things out from earlier incidents. But these caution flags definitely helping those guys, although they are quite a few significant laps down. It's actually got Ray Parent Jr. now heading back out onto the racetrack. He is still on the lead lap. He's the last car on the lead lap in 26. He will rejoin the field and look to try to move his way back up through the leaderboard.
For those wondering, why are these guys still out here turning laps? They're multiple laps down. There's no way they're going to get back on the lead lap. Well, there is a point standings here. These guys are racing for points. You can go out there a few laps down. If other cars wreck out, you have an opportunity to pick up some spots there. And that's just how racing goes when you got points involved. And every point counts in racing, especially short track racing, because anything.
No, absolutely true. There was once in my lengthy sim racing career, I was taken out in a wreck early on, running about 35th afterwards, and just barely missed out on a top 20 finish just by staying out and logging laps. So it's very important. If that car's got power, you need to be out on the racetrack. You never know when the crashes are going to happen, if someone's going to have a failure, a connection problem, any opportunity that you can get to gain a position. If that car's got power, you need to be out there logging laps.
You said that's early in your sim racing career. What year was that?
Oh, geez, that was back in my Enter 2003 days. So we're talking between 2009 and 2012.
All right, so you have a lot of experience here on sim racing, correct?
Whether that's something to be proud of or not, yes, I do.
All right, so let's put you in the driver's seat real fast. Of let's say a Ryan Libby, you're starting 5th. How do you feel about your chances here? Lap 25 of 75 when we restart. You're Ryan Libby, are you?
Well, things are going so far so good. He was able to get down to the bottom like he wanted to, run into the top 5. Those guys up in front of him, they kind of ran away from him a little bit, but we're still early on. We're just about ready to complete the 1/3 mark here of this contest. So my confidence is high if I'm Ryan Libby for right now. Still got a lot of race to go, and off to a great restart here. He's able to get himself clear of the cars from his outside and able to solidify his place down on the bottom. Now Derek Wojcicki, he did not get off to a good restart. He's going to lose position number 2 to Teddy Hodgdon. Hodgdon in the 55 will move up to that runner-up position, and now he will try to run down your leader Kyle Eli, as now Libby almost had a fight for the battle from behind him. Regan Parent was trying to get underneath, and he is all over the back bumper. Parent gets a shot from Kyle Cisco. Cisco is going to look to the inside of Parent off at turn number 2. He's got the position underneath. Will he be able to hold? No, he does not. He backs out, and Parent comes back down to the bottom.
As they would say in the Northeast, they're playing bumper cars, Kyle. They're playing bumper cars. That's what they're doing here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Just there's nowhere to go. Everybody wants the bottom. They're just bumping into each other, but everybody's able to hold it straight. They got those Nerf bars on the back and the front of the car that just are there to nerf each other. Just a little beep. Just a little bit of a bump there, but we have a little bit of a battle here for the 4th position. However, the caution is out. We have another flag that is the color of yellow. Not exactly sure where it's at. Looks like it possibly in the back further. I don't see any cars completely off pace, but we will catch up with that to get a clearer look of possibly who went around town.
Looks to me, Wes, it was in turn 3, the 13 car of DJ Gerard. Not too sure how he ended up backwards. He actually, he's the 29th place car. He's 20 laps down right now. My replay just cuts in with him sitting backwards in turn number 3. That's the only other thing that I'm able to see. So I believe that is what the caution flag is for. DJ Gerard around in turn number 3. Again, 29th place, 20 laps down right now, and brings out our 3rd caution of this feature event.
Yeah, it looks like possibly a little bit of a connection there. He lags a little bit, and once in a while you will see that. And that's typically what happens. So, guys, if you see a car blinking back and forth, I promise it's not your epilepsy kicking in. What it is this is iRacing, and sometimes these guys have connection issues. Some of these guys, they either live in the woods or they have bad connections, and it'll blink once in a while. So, unfortunately, that happens. It'll cause wrecks sometimes, and sometimes it just makes things hard on you. And that's probably what we saw there. But nonetheless, back up front, dominating this race, the Dominator. That's what we might have to start calling that man up there in that 7 ride, Kyle Eli, as he's putting on a clinic trying to go 2 in a row.
Yeah, these caution flags are definitely helping him out. He's had a couple contestants in Teddy Hodgson and Derek Luchacki so far, but nothing too intense quite yet. These caution flags allowing him to just log laps and keep it up front. We'll see if that continues now as Hodgson moved into second place during that green flag run, giving him a new challenge that Luchacki may not have been able to do.
Kyle, here in the booth here, we have DJ Gerard. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
What happened there, man, going into 3?
The 98 used me up pretty good. He did the first week to get into the show, and he did just there, but it is what it is.
All right, well, with the 98 doing that, do you think a receipt possibly is in order now, 2 races in a row?
At some point it will be. It'll be when he's least expecting it.
That's what we like to hear here. More drama, more things that we can call. I don't care how many laps you're down. Keep up the good work, buddy. It's never over to the fat lady sing.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, getting put back in his car before we instigate an intentional wreck. We're going to let go of the guy that's multiple laps down and put him back in his car. And let's have a little bit of fun with these drivers. I know myself, when you're riding around multiple laps down, you've been taken out more than once. You're just like, man, I'm over this. I'm over this. And you kind of get bored. And we like to kind of keep it spiced up with these guys, keep it fun. And kind of like Paul Strickland and Vidane. He is basically the Joey Gates of NASCAR. He just likes to ride around. So now he pushes buttons for us, and he makes things look very pretty. And makes what you see on Sundays and Saturdays on FS1 look like child's play. And that's what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen. This is better than Podium. This is Vidane TV. And this is Green Flag Racing here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
The inside line gets off to a great start. Luchacki's going to move it back into that runner-up position. He's going to keep it too because the caution flag flies once again immediately as we go back to green flag racing, trying to figure out what caused that one. But again, an immediate yellow flag. I would think that possibly we're going to go single file here after this restart. It was a car in the back turned to the outside wall. Looks like it's the 61 machine. It is the 61 of Brian Kramer making contact with another car. And he gets turned head-on into the outside wall to bring out, I believe this is caution number 4 of the event.
Wasn't there a show in the 90s? The guy named Kramer. Was it Cheers?
I was born in the mid-90s, so I may not be a good reference on this.
Well, nonetheless, Kyle is correct. Kramer just gets hooked by the 15. He kind of went high going into 1, and the 15 just got him. And 2 guys going for the same real estate there. To me, that would be kind of a racing deal there. But that was tough break there for the 61 of Brian Kramer, who now has to go to the back. And I believe that's Kramer since there's 2 R's. Please, if you're watching this feed, hit the subscribe button. And if you can, help us with these last names. We call these Canadian leagues all the time on early Saturday and Sunday mornings, and we can't pronounce a damn thing. It's no difference with these guys in the New England states. Please help us. We're illiterate. Thank you.
It's actually 2 M's, Wes, not 2 R's. And if it is Kramer, he tried to cram it up to the outside line there in that restart, and unfortunately was unsuccessful. Probably trying to get himself a better entry into turn number 1.
I see where I messed up, Kyle. Okay, I had 2 Bloody
Yes.
Marys, and I thought there was R's because of Bloody Marys. Got it. Continue.
Is that something that you're comfortable admitting over these live airways?
Yeah, I got 2 sisters named Mary, and both of them got car accidents, and they shed blood. It's 2 Bloody Marys.
I love the creativity.
I'm a poet and never even known it. But back up front is Kyle Eli. We're just trying to give you a little bit of entertainment here, guys. I don't want you to get lulled out. I don't want you to get bored of this, we're trying to give you some kind of action here since we keep on going to caution. But race summary here on the screen, boys and girls. We're on lap 38 of 75. We've had a lot of cautions, and we're trying to work through this. Caution laps also count. So 4 cautions, 19 laps. Every lap right now led by the 7 ride of Kyle Eli. And if you are watching, please hit the subscribe button and do not call your local nut house. We are fine. We are absolutely fine. Please don't Baker Act us. We're just having a little bit of fun here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Caught that.
So now we're getting, I believe now we are just
We're getting
beyond
fired.
the
That's what
halfway
we're
point
getting.
of this event. Bit of a slower start here in this first half, but we will see if things can progress throughout the remainder of this event. And while we are at the halfway mark, let's give you a quick little field rundown, let you know where your favorite driver is running at. We've been mentioning it throughout the broadcast so far. Kyle Eli is your front runner. He started on the pole and has led every single lap. Derek Luchacki has now moved his way back into position number 2, with Teddy Hodgson in 3rd, Ryan Blanchard in the number 9 in 4th, and Ryan Libby rounding out the top 5. Kyle Sisko rides in 6th with Riley O'Keefe 7th, Regan Parent 8th, Nicholas Hovey 9th, and Travis Hyder rounding out the top 10. Wes, we're about to go back green flag.
We are, and we're going to go single file green flag racing here. Hopefully this will allow us to get back into a rhythm, get us back into a groove. And nope, there goes Ryan Libby. He gets hooked up by the 9 car. He gets sent to the grass. And the bad thing is when you get sent into the grass like that, the caution does not come out. Ryan Libby with a solid run in the top 10 gets punted to the back. And now he's all the way back to look right around 14th position. Man, oh man, Ryan Libby has to be heated.
You asked me earlier on, Wes, if I was feeling good being Ryan Libby. I'm not now. I'm pretty upset.
And the 12, Cisco in the 12, all over the place coming out of 2. I'm sorry there, Kyle. He's able to gather it back up.
No problems at all. Kyle Sisko's been quite the action starter here tonight. Gets himself a little out of shape once again, and now he's faced with a side-by-side battle for position with the 16 machine of Nicholas Hovey. He's able to win that battle. Hovey drops in behind him now. Sisko falling back to position number 8. He's got a little bit of a gap up ahead of him to Travis Hyder. Hyder was in 10th off that restart. He's already moved up 3 positions and is now trying to track down Regan Parent in the 17 machine as they complete lap number 43. Just 32 laps remain.
I know that our YouTube follower, Matthew Forthen, isn't happy. He said, let's go Libby earlier in this race. And unfortunately, Libby's not looking too well. And then Jason Makrowitz, I'm sorry if I butchered that as I did. He said, go Ted Gross. So got a couple fans watching here. Ted Gross sitting in the 19th position in that 33 machine. He's actually just past the 34 for 18th position. So Ted Groh working his way up through the field. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. It's the 14 of Chris Forster's trying to battle with the 87 now. He wants to break into the top 10. They make contact coming off of 4. No harm, no foul. The 14 works the bottom end, and he's able to get around the 87 of David E. French.
The 87 is going to try to cross him over, looking to the inside, but he falls back in line as they go into turn number 3 once again. Now he's got a mirror completely full of Trent Goodrow. Goodrow all over the back bumper. He offsets himself to the inside, falls back in line, and will think better of that move going into turn number 1. Single file throughout the field here, trying to log some laps and get things going. Less than 30 laps remain, so these guys don't have too much time to be patient. If they're going to make some moves, they're going to have to start planning them pretty quickly. Just a few cars back from Trent Goodrow. We just saw, oh, we got a car in the wall. Is that Sisko? I believe it is. Kyle Sisko into the outside wall off of turn number 4. He, again, is in trouble, falling. He may have only lost a couple spots there, but he's able to get in line. I believe that's going to be about 11th or 12th, just in front of Trent Goodrow, who we were just talking about. So, again, Kyle Sisko on the struggle bus here tonight.
Man, oh man, Kyle Sisko, he's not having the race that he wanted. That car is still loose coming through 1 and 2. That just might be a setup, but not exactly sure. But he's just playing pinball, and the caution is out. The caution has flown here back at Stafford Motor Speedway. And it's so big wreck, the 76, the 13, the 5 in it, the 33, the 34, the 7, the 15 of Jake Johnson. Everybody in it, ladies and gentlemen. Big junk, as they would say here in the iRacing community. Big L Junko, and we're going to find out exactly what happened to fire this one off. And oh man, our buddy Ryan Libby, he looks to be involved in this as well in the 46. It looks like Ryan Libby came off of the corner. Possibly a car lagged in front of him. and it's just calamity after that.
Yeah, Wes, checking things out for myself here. Looks like the number 5 machine of Michael Hendrickson. He gets himself loose coming off of turn number 2. Almost had it gathered up, but it snapped once again, and he puts himself into the outside wall. Spins in front of race traffic, and Ted Groh, unfortunately, nowhere to go but into the number 5 machine. He gets collected. A nice avoidance there by the 24 car of Mikey Flynn. He's able to split the two of them, and more cars pile in. You mentioned Ryan Libby getting involved. Who else was that just spun across my screen? That was the 34 machine of Tyler Leary involved. So multiple cars crashing on the back straightaway to bring up caution flag number 5 here tonight.
Man, we have a whole bunch of cars on pit road, about 6 cars on pit road right now. 33 Ted Groh is down there, unfortunately, as well as a 13 DJ Gerard. He's head back down there. The 5 ride is back down there as well. Man, oh man, everybody that was involved in that basing on pit road. Michael Hendrickson there in the 5, as we mentioned. Anthony Bozzilla in the 76. His name's been said a lot. Jake Johnson in the 15, heading down pit road. Again, if these guys are just fixing their damage, they can do that. They can go down on the pit road and fix their damage, but they cannot change tires. So all that slipping and sliding, man, you're still stuck on those tires. And what was I forgot what that cheap 90s cereal was. Crack, Snapple, Pop, giving you more. And that's exactly what's happened here. And I believe that's Rice Krispie Treats. Thanks for the fat guys in the back. So Kyle Eli is your pole sitter. And he also has led every single lap here on lap 53. He's still the leader, Kyle Eli in the 7, followed up by Derek Glukaki G. He's in that Earnhardt-looking car in the number 3. Then running 3rd will be Teddy Hodgson in the 55. Running 4th is the 9 of Ryan Blanchard. And running out your top 5 is Riley O'Keefe. So that is your top 5, ladies and gentlemen. And I would have to say all those guys have ran clean. So repeat after me. This is awesome. So we're going to take a look at the race summary. 53 laps down, 22 to go. Cautions 5 for 26 laps. Not what you want to see if you're a race admin. I'm sure Dylan Kopech is pulling his hair out of his head here, Kyle.
Indeed, he could be. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, Wes. We will take this restart with 21 laps to go. Double file all the way through. Kyle Ely hits the loud pedal, and we're back underway. He's able to clear Gluchacki for 2nd, and now we're banging Nerf bars for P2. Teddy Hodgson trying to get around Gluchacki once again. They're still side by side. Derek's trying to get a fight. He's going to even up back down the back straightaway. He actually's got the advantage going into 3-4. Can he make the top side work? He's pulling on Teddy Hodgson, trying to make the outside line work for the first time tonight. Can he hold off this charge? He moves up just a little bit, and now Hodgson's got the advantage off it too.
They're leaning on each other like a drunk on a bar countertop going down the backstretch here. We're on board with Ryan Blanchard watching this battle here in front of him, waiting for one of these guys to slip off. As they are leaning on each other, they are not missing a beat. Is Hodgson and Derek G as they stay side by side through 1 and 2. The 9 there, giving a little bit of the bumper to the 55, but going back into 3, almost looks low. And with caution is out again, ladies and gentlemen. Caution is out. Someone check on Dylan Copeland and his pulse. And it looks like it has something to do with the 61 of Brian Kramer.
Caution flag number 6 will fly, and looking at things for myself here, looks like we've got trouble with Ryan Libby in the 46 car. He was outside of the number 1 of Timothy Ploward, and unfortunately, it looks like the two of them come together on the exit of turn number 2. Slight little contact. Libby gets a bump from behind from the 22 car, is that? The 24 car. The 24 gives him a slight little shot in the left rear, and that sends Libby into the outside wall, right front first, gets that thing up on its left side wheels. Fortunately, it was only a 1-car incident, but well, actually, I don't think it was. Somebody might have hit him. My replay was cutting in and out there a little bit. But a minor incident for the field, a major problem for Ryan Libby, who we talked to pre-race. Unfortunately, that top 5 starting spot not going to do much for him now. He is off the lead lap and in trouble here late in the going.
If you're in our chat right now, feel free to type in our YouTube chat who you want to see this win this race. If you think Kyle Eli can hold it off or not. So while we have a second, we're going to make sure that Dylan Kopech still has hair on his head. Dylan, how's your feeling so far here as we come across lap 60?
We're trying to figure it all out. We're trying to get it all um, squared away, I guess. I'm having a hard time viewing replays here on my computer, so it's taking a bit to make these calls and try to make.
Is it cutting in and out for you as well?
Yeah, it's real bad today.
Yep, we're having the same problems here, so I totally understand that. You guys are doing a wonderful job. It's been a great battle up front. A little bit of the riffraff from the back seems like it's going to be thinning out. I think you might meet us at the bar outside the track after this one, I'd say, Dylan.
Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely have a couple beers after this one. It's going to be a good finish, though. I promise you that.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, especially Kyle Eli leading the way. I believe he's going for 2 in a row. Anybody you would like to thank while we have you here?
I'd like to thank everybody tuning in, all the drivers that showed up today. You guys doing a great job with the whole broadcast, and just anybody that's in the race tonight, and anybody that's attempted to qualify didn't make it. I'd like to thank them. Hopefully they come back next week and try again.
All right, we'll get you back to your admin duties here, Dylan. Thank you again so much for having a word with us.
10-4, thank you.
All right, and that was Dylan Kopeck. Just a quick word with him there to kind of get his thoughts on what he's seeing here as the lights on that iRacing Mustang are off, and we're about to go green flag racing again. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We still have about 14, 13 laps to go when we go green. Still a lot of action coming.
That it is. We will have 13 laps of green flag, hopefully green flag racing left to go when the pace car ducks down as it does right now. Kyle Eli, the man in control once again. Luchacki to his outside was able to hang on well enough to keep Teddy Hodgson behind him. And look at that restart from Derek Luchacki. He's able to stick right with Kyle Eli. He was able to put up a bit of a fight with Teddy Hodgson in that last run. Can he do the same for the race lead? Eli with the advantage off of turn number 2. He's trying to pull him going into turn number 3. Not quite clear of him yet. Here comes Luchacki once again. With
the 52 gets punted by David French. The 52 gets punted by David French. Is he able to keep it back going? He does. We stay green, but David French just said, it's 4th and 10, buddy. Pucker up and send him up the track there and just send him for a ride. Tough break there for that 52 machine. David French, though, also feeling the effects of that, but we are single file, like just a freight train racing through here. And coming across now, David French actually was black flagged for that punt. Black flag to David French. Tough break for David French. And the battle for the lead here, Kyle Eli with his mirror full with Derek Luchacki.
Eli was able to win it. We got trouble again, Wes. Trouble. The 17 machine of Regan Parent has gone around. I was able to catch that one live. Kyle Cisco in the 12 machine once again making contact with the outside wall, exiting turn number 4. Unfortunately for Regan Parent, he was right underneath of Cisco when that happened. Nowhere for him to go, and he gets turned into the outside wall and spun around, battling for a top 5 position just outside of the top 5 late in the going. Absolute heartbreaker for Regan Parent. I believe that Cisco and Parent are the only 2 cars involved in that. That is true, and that is exactly what happened. Cisco just pushed it a little too hard, made contact with the outside wall coming off of turn number 4, and unfortunately for Regan Parent, he was there, gets spun around, and it will sacrifice those 6th and 7th place positions here with less than 10 laps to go.
Man, I was really hoping we're going to get a long green flag run there, but unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be going back to caution. We do have 2 green-white checkered attempts, though, so it would be nice to not have to need them, but they are there if we have to. But Kyle Eli, this is probably what he wanted to see. He wants to see a less amount of green flag laps as possible, as he was doing everything he could to hold off Derek Luchacki there on that restart. We're just going to go with Luchacki.
You know, Wes, I'm noticing you guys said last week that Kyle Eli pretty much did what he is doing tonight and dominated and went to victory lane looking like he's got a good opportunity to go back to back. I don't know about you, Wes, but that is a completely black race car. Why on earth, after hopefully this is changed by next week, but there's a lot of advertising space on that number 7 machine. If nobody jumps on that car between now and next week, you are doing yourself a massive insult. Somebody needs to get on that 7 car because there's a lot of TV time, a lot of coverage for Kyle Eli tonight. Qualified fastest overall, started this race on the pole and has led each and every single one of the 69 laps so far here tonight. Where are the sponsors? Contact Kyle Ely, please.
That goes for anybody. You don't have to be a Stafford Motor Speedway local. These guys will use sponsors from all over the country. For our new Smyrna race that we had for Saturday, we had sponsors from everywhere coming in and sponsoring positions and cars and hard charger awards. So if you are somebody that would like to sponsor one of these drivers, you can contact Vidane TV and we can get a hold of these drivers for you. You can get a hold of us at Vidane Racing on Facebook, or if you know how to get a hold of that driver, get a hold of them directly. I'm sure they would love to put your logos on their car. And speaking of that, make sure that you like and subscribe to Vidane TV, as we are calling action all week long, all different series, anything from super late models to modifieds to street stocks to the national series, whatever it may be. We will be there to call it right here at Vidane TV.
So the field's going to double up, and we will have 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go when we go green flag here.
How many?
Kyle,
How many laps?
4.
One more time for the ones in the back. How many laps, Kyle?
4. Quattro, if you speak Spanish. 4 laps to go on this
Quattro,
restart.
like the Schick
Kyle
Razor.
Be able to hang on and dominate, go flag to flag. Here we go. Great restart. Jackie was not able to hang with him like he was that last restart. Teddy Hodgson trying to find his way around the inside of the 3 machine and hopefully reel in that 7 and fight for this race win. The advantage goes to the 55 of Hodgson. He's going to try to clear him. Oh, a bit of a battle.
Oh, the 9 gets hurt. Oh, the 9 gets hurt. Oh,
upside down.
Mikey Flynn is on his roof. Oh, we got another one flipping. My Lord, it's an enduro race at this point. We got cars on their roof. We got cars in the wall. Kyle, whoa, what just happened on that restart? The 9 just got turned and everything just broke loose.
Well, we were watching that battle for second place once again, and I believe it was the 69 machine of Riley O'Keefe drives it in deep into turn number 3, gets into the back bumper of Ryan Blanchard on entry, gets him sideways. They hang on, but then there's a little bit of contact behind Riley O'Keefe from the 11, and at the same time, he hits Ryan Blanchard once again, and at that point, all hell breaks loose. The 9 goes back into the outside wall, blocks the track. He makes contact with the 24, Mikey Flynn, puts him upside down, and many other cars piling into this one. A massive incident here with just 4 laps to go, and that will force our first green-white checkered finish of the evening. At this rate, we may end up going to number 2.
Big shout out to Ted Goodrow in the 31. He restarted in that, I believe, in 9th. He watched it begin. He was able to pin it to the bottom, bobbed and weaved, missed these wrecking cars and able to get through that. He may come out of this with a top 5 almost, depending where he ends up lining up here. Right now, 6th. So from 9th to 6th, it's only 3 spots for what he had to do to get those 3 spots. Man, oh man, what a battle.
I'm going to give my shout out to the number 16 machine of Nicholas Hovey. Nicholas had to go through a heat race, qualified outside of the top 20, finished 2nd in that heat race, and is now looking at a top 5 running position. He started this feature all the way back in 24th place. He's made his way 19 spots through the field, and is trying to steal himself a top 5. He was able to get through that big wreck and now rides in position number 5. He'll have the preferred lane on this restart, starting on the bottom. We'll see if he can advance his position even further than 5th. But a big shout out to Nicholas Hovey in 16th, coming from a heat race to run in the top 5 here, heading into our first green-white checkered finish.
Another one, Timothy Plord. We watched him barely get into this race after being taken out as the leader in our first heat tonight. He restarted there in about 13th, 14th position. He's now sitting P8. He pinned it to the outside, the opposite of Goodrow, and he was able to make it through. I'm just shocked that anybody was able to make it through that, because that whole track was blocked. Great driving to those who was able to bob and weave their way through as we try at our first official Vidane TV. Woo, woo, woo. Green, white, checkered. I promise you guys we will actually have an actual sound for that. But for now, I apologize. That is your sound effect. Sorry.
So here we go, Wes. The pace lights are out. We are lining up for our first green-white checkered attempt. Kyle Eli, the man up front, led the whole way. He's got, hopefully, his last opportunity to seal this one up. Teddy Hodgson will restart in second, Derek Gluchacki third, Travis Hyder fourth, and Nicholas Hovey, the man we just mentioned, all the way from 24th, restarting in position number 5. Pace car to pit road. Eli hits the gas. So does Hodgson. He's able to stick with him a little bit here, coming off of turn 4. Green flag is out. It's a green-white checkered finish. Here we go. Side-by-side battle. Was there contact there with Gluchacki and Hodgson? They're going to go side-by-side, but the caution flag will fly.
Another big one,
again.
Kyle. Another big one. In my best Trump words, another big one. Here in the back of the pack, unfortunately, and that I think that's probably what makes these drivers so upset. Oh man, the one car is actually involved in that. He got washed up the track there of Timothy Port. The 13 gets pinballed into him of Matt Swanson, and then just all calamity after that. But that, man, tough break. The 76 of Anthony Bozzella in another one. Brian Kramer, we've said his name enough times for the wrong reasons. Ted Groh, again, looks like he was able to barely scoot through this one, made a little bit of contact with the 61, but all right, one more green, white, checkered.
I'm going to make sure that we have our producer, Paul Strickland Jr., keep me away from any part of this booth once we get done with this race, because I have a feeling Timothy Plord is going to be coming up here looking for you, Wes. You just gave him a shout out in the commentator's curse hits, and now he is damaged severely and is going to suffer.
How many times have I done that tonight? We got to keep a tally of that. Do you think
Not
if
good.
I think if I do that in real life, like every time I give Kyle Busch a compliment, he'll wreck?
I'd love to be able to find out, but we're not racing real cars, unfortunately, right now. Thank God for iRacing and the sim racing.
Yeah, shout out to iRacing. Shout out to the creators and everybody being able to give us this opportunity during tough times in this pandemic to still be able to get our racing fix. Thank you to all you viewers. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And thank you to all these drivers putting on this show for us. It's definitely appreciated. And the cool thing is you don't need a podium to sit on to watch some awesome racing here in the iRacing server. We got you covered here, right here, at Vidane TV.
We're going to line them up one more time. One last attempt to try to get a green flag finish. No matter what happens, whatever flag flies next, we will be completed. If the yellow flag flies, the race will end. If the white flag flies, we will be able to go all the way to the checkered under full racing power. We've seen a lot of battling between Teddy Hodgson and Derek Gluchacki throughout this event. They've been swapping positions 2 and 3 all night long. It's Teddy Hodgson now who's got it for this final restart. Derek Gluchacki on the inside of him. The two of them got a little aggressive there just before that caution flag flew, so they got to settle those gremlins and figure out a way to get around the 7 of Kyle Eli. If they are too busy battling with each other, they will not be able to focus or have even the slightest hope of getting to Eli to try to steal the win away after he has dominated this event.
I think the trend here is if you start pole, you win. That's what we've been seeing for the last 3 weeks. What you get for that pole award is also the trophy for the race, because these guys have not been able to prove yet that they can pass somebody that's leading this race. That restart means so much. I think the cautions are coming so often that you really can't get into a rhythm and wear out your tires to the point where you can run somebody down. So unfortunately, we're seeing that happen. But we're seeing the lap cars fall to the back and the leaders fly up to the front. And we are going to have one, that's right, count them, one last green, white, checkered. Lights are off, Mr. Young. Here we go.
We're going to do it single file this time, so nobody's at a disadvantage. Everybody beating bumpers off this start. Here we go. Final attempt. Green flag will fly. Kyle Ely trying to protect the bottom on Teddy Hodgson. Hodgson's going to look to the outside to try to draw him up.
Oh, the 3 Rex Hodgson! Oh my God, there goes the field! There goes the field!
And that is going to wrap it up. That will wrap up this event. Kyle Eli watches the field crash behind him, and he is going to take the victory with ease. What a wild ending. that battle that we were just talking about during that caution flag between Gluchacki and Hodgdon boils over. Hodgdon gets turned by Gluchacki, and all hell breaks loose once again. That's going to end this race under caution. Kyle Eli will go 2 in a row. But man, the hard-fought battle between the 55 and the 3 is going to end in a wreck, and neither one of them are going to get the finish that they probably deserve.
What a dirty move by Derek Gluchacki. His last of his concerns are going to be the names that we're calling him. I'm sure the Hodgin, known as one of the cleanest drivers here on the service, just got completely wiped out by Derek. And man, oh man, we saw him race earlier today in another series, and he put on a heck of a show. And unfortunately, he sends him for a ride, and these guys take this seriously. If I were him, I would definitely run to my my hauler and then to my jet as soon as possible. Teddy Hodgson, not so kind words for him, has exited the server, but nonetheless, your winner, Kyle Eli, from flag to flag, bringing home the dubs.
That late race caution there seems to have produced some type of issue with the scoring. I think there was some type of glitch here, so our standings have reflected that. We're going to try to go back here and get a proper rundown for the finish for you guys, so that way you know exactly where everybody finished in the right mind. I know for a fact the top 3 finishers. Your top 3 is going to be Kyle Eli in the number 7 car. How about this? Second place finisher, Tommy Kraneborg. If you don't remember, he was involved in our first caution on lap number 2. He survived all of the riffraff, and he's going to be able to come back out of this with a second place finish. And get this one, folks, Kyle Cisco. All the drama that was around him tonight, banging off of walls, slipping and sliding all over the racetrack, he survives for a third place finish. Kyle Cisco is going to come home in position number 3. Unfortunately, that may be the last of what I can get here. Even rewinding this replay back a little bit, it's still giving me all of the funky numbers. I believe Trent Goodrow is going to finish in, well, maybe not. He was caught up in that one. Kind of hard to give you a rundown here with all this scoring issues. But I do know for a fact that is what your top 3 is. These officials are going to have some work ahead of them to make sure that they get the finishing positions right, so everybody gets their proper points. But I can absolutely confirm the top 3 finishers are Kyle Eli, Tommy Kraneborg in second, and Kyle Cisco will be in position number 3.
Man, oh man, what a race, what a battle. And we're going to see if possibly we can get a couple different drivers in here. We got Kyle Eli, your winner. I said his name, and I'll say it again. Kyle Eli, your winner. Man, oh man, oh man. Flag to flag again, Kyle Eli. Welcome to the USO Penitentiary, or as we call it, Victory Lane here, Stafford Motor Speedway. Kyle, awesome race. What did you think of that show that was put in your mirror there in that last green white checkered?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I just looked for a split second because I had a pretty good start. I just saw the whole field wreck behind me, so I don't really know what happened there, but it's kind of unfortunate because I thought me and Teddy would have a really good finish there.
It was looking like you guys were going to, and then Derek Gluchacki, we think that's how you say it, decided to rain on that parade. And by rain, I mean completely COVID-19 thunderstorm. I'm punting you into 3 and 4. Not exactly what I think that driver was expecting. But man, from flag to flag again, each and every week you put on a show here. What does it take? What does it take for you to do in order to do this?
Just being consistent, I guess. I'm not a big fan of, being in the lead the whole time at Stafford because I feel like I could make like a lot of mistakes, especially looking in my mirror. I know there's at least somebody there because with these SK modifiers, there's not a lot of horsepower and we're pretty much even on lap time. So just being consistent, hitting your marks, I think that's helped me for the past 2 weeks.
Well, Kyle, you had us fooled for the last 2 weeks because it seems like you like being up in the lead because that's all you've done is lead. But hey, that's not a bad thing. Who would you like to think that possibly helped you get here and put this on here for you?
Thanks to you guys for broadcasting. That's it.
Well, before we let you go, Kyle, I got to give you at least an opportunity here to advertise yourself. I made mention here late in this race, you're driving around here with a blank black car, no sponsors, nothing but the number on the side of that car. You've won the last 2 races in this league, and it sounds like you've done them leading all 150 of the last 2 races, 150 laps of the last 2 races. Give us a pitch. Give us a pitch, something to put at least one sticker on that race car come next week.
If you want to see, my car and another podium finish, I guess, reach out to me.
And he doesn't mean podium motor. No, not that. Vidane TV. Just remember that he means podium. He finishes on. Keep going. Kyle Eli, I'll tell you what, man, you put on a heck of a show here. It's so fun watching you. Thank you so much for what you do here. I know you guys do put some time into these setups, and it's not easy watching your mirror over and over and over again. And for 75 laps, you're watching your mirror, and I know that becomes mentally straining. So again, man, great job. If you have any other shout outs, feel free to put it out there.
Oh, that's it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem at all. And that was tonight's first place winner. Whew, Kyle Eli. And all right, we have Kyle Cisco here with us. Kyle Cisco, are you available to speak? If you're muted.
Yes, I got you.
Okay, man. We said your name a lot. Some positive, some negative, some holy crap, this guy's a bumper car. To he just finished 3rd. Give us your rundown on how this race went for you.
It started off a little slow. I got in with about 10 minutes of practice left, and I was struggling a little bit. My teammates, Brian Kramer and Ray Fataruso, got me hooked up pretty quick. I qualified 5th. Wasn't too bad of a showing. And then beginning of the race there, I think I hit everything except the hot dog stand. It just, I don't know, I couldn't get things to go my way. I was free, and then I drove it in the fence, and it was a blur. And then on the last lap, towards the end there, right before the last green-white checkered, I actually ran out of fuel, so I had to come down and top her off for the last green-white checkered, and there was a big pile up. My spotter said, go low, clear, 3rd, and I was like, okay, how you doing?
That wasn't expected. I'll tell you that. From the problems that we saw you having earlier in the race and getting bumped around, we had a little bit of sympathy for you. Like, man, he just can't buy a break. Then all of a sudden, you let all of that build up and used all your luck there on the last lap. Anybody that you would like to thank that possibly helped you get here, that helps you on the track on these Sunday nights, maybe helps you with the setups?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, my teammates, Brian Kramer, had some trouble early. He finished 17th, but we're going to work on it. Ray Fataruso too. He was scored 30th, but they're both really good, helping me with setups and making sure we're always pretty quick. And hopefully here we can make some couple more adjustments and catch the top 2.
All right, Mr. Cisco, we're going to let you go here. Thank you again for putting on the show that you put on, and hopefully we will see you next week, brother.
Yeah, thanks for all you guys do, and to Dylan and everyone that puts this together. Appreciate it.
Bada boom, most 3rd guy in the room. How you doing? I caught that quick little Big E and Cass. Never mind.
Oh man, that was so much fun. So I believe that's going to be it. Did second place jump in Discord, ladies and gentlemen? Let's check, boys. Did second place jump in Discord?
We do have a lot of. He is in here. He's up a couple channels. He's Tommy K up there. We got a handful of drivers sticking around here.
See if we can grab some interviews. Tommy K, you got us.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, what a race, bro. Walk us through that race, man. You were involved in some early incidents. You were able to still come out with a solid finish.
Yeah, I kind of burned off the tires very early after that wreck, just trying to pass people as quick as I can. So I decided to just sit back, wait for wrecks to happen, because they're bound to happen at Stafford. Just avoided as much as I could, and just held it where I was.
Now, once you got in some early incidents, did you at one point think, like, all right, this is it? Or did you know in the back of your mind this whole time, like, look, I still got a chance at it?
I knew just from past races at Stafford that there's always a chance, because like what happened on the last lap. There's always big wrecks on the backstretch that usually collect a lot, and I didn't think I was gonna get as high as it was. I was hoping for like top 10, but definitely not a second, which was really cool. But there was never really a point where I thought I was fully out.
That's what it's all about, is staying persistent and never giving up. Anybody you'd like to thank, Mr. Tommy, since we got you here in the booth here?
I'd
We
like
don't. Yes, sir. Keep on going.
I'd like to thank Riley O'Keefe. He really helped with the setup. Heffy, who also helped with the setup. Um, Congrats to Kyle Eli, won that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, congrats to him. Thanks to everyone who helped put this together, especially Dylan Kopech, you guys, for broadcasting it.
That sounds good. All right, Tommy, we'll put you back up there again. Great recovery and strong run tonight here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
All right, thank you.
All right, and we're going to try to catch one last quick word with Dylan Kopech now that this event is wrapped up. Dylan, wow, what a finish. You had guys that were in the back, charged their way up to the front, able to miss that, got Lady Luck on their side there at the end. Walk us through your thoughts there in the last couple green white.
Well, I wasn't lying. I knew it was gonna be an interesting finish. I didn't think it was gonna unfold like that. I'm actually currently going through all the finishing order right now and kind of freezing it as the yellow went out to see who got where. But I kept telling him on the radio. I told him, I said, you guys got 2 shots for green white checkered. First one wasn't that great. Second one, I put everybody single file and just told him to clean it up a little bit. And unfortunately, Derek just got into the 55 a little bit, and the 11 finished it off by pushing him through. Sucks for both of them. Sucks for Hodgins especially because he had a pretty solid run all night.
We know that Hodgson is known to be a very fast but clean and conservative driver. From your perspective there, do you think there's a little bit of bad blood there after that? Do you think any of that's going to roll over between those 2 drivers?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know after that all happened, the 3 kind of apologized. Gluchaki, kind of talked a little bit. Hodgson didn't really say too much. I think it's just, it is what it is. I'm sure that there'll be some tempers flaring, because especially finishing second. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week, I guess.
I'm going to need you to say Derek's last name one more time for me, please.
Gluchaki.
All right, it's not Glukaki, it's not Gluchaki, it's Gluchaki. Thank you. We just spent 2 weeks trying to pronounce his last name. So
I'm still pretty sure I was the closest there with Gluchaki, so I should get something out of that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Dylan.
it's like tomato.
Yeah.
Dylan, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Dylan, thank you so much for having us broadcast this. You guys always put on a heck of a show, and we were glad to be here again, wrapping up another wonderful weekend with you. And hopefully here soon, some of these guys will get back to the real racetracks. But until then, I'm sure that this will.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully everybody gets back. I feel like they're just getting they're getting more and more antsy. You can tell just the way they drive out on the track. So hopefully next week will be a little bit better. I mean, we had a good start to this race and just got a little impatient for some guys, but we'll see. I appreciate you guys broadcasting this, and you guys did a really great job.
Hey, we appreciate being here every single Sunday, especially these last 4 weeks have been awesome. All right, Dylan, we bid you a goodbye, and we will see you next Sunday.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right, and that was Dylan Kopech, the league GM here at the East Coast Winter League here at Stafford Motor Speedway. So I believe that's going to recap our coverage here. That's going to cover it all. You guys out there on the track that are watching this, thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for supporting us, hitting that subscribe button. We definitely appreciate it. If you are a league admin and you want your action called by Vidane TV, hit us up at Vidane Racing on Facebook, or Paul Strickland Jr., West Rowdy Hogue on Facebook, either way as well. To the competitors, thank you for putting on the show that you put on here time and time again for each of you league drivers, especially here in the East Coast Winter League. And Kyle, what did you think of your first time here up in the booth with us?
Well, I was glad to get back in. It's been a while since I've been in the booth for some sim racing commentary, and glad that you guys opened the door for me. Hoping I can continue to join you guys as it seems like Vidane TV is taking off and getting a lot of popularity, so I'd love to be part of the success. Great to see some short track racing. Unfortunately, it wasn't the cleanest event that I've seen in my time, but we did see some good racing throughout all the cautions. That battle for second there with Gluchaki and Hogden was pretty good. Them flipping spots between second and third. You got to see how important those restarts were in that battle and how good Kyle Eli was on those battles too. Or on those restarts. Kyle Sisko was a thrill to watch tonight. He was definitely putting it all out there, making some mistakes and slipping and sliding, bouncing off the walls. And I had no idea. The fact that he said that he came into pit before that last green, white checkered finish to take fuel and was able to go from the back of the field from a pit stop all the way to finish in third just adds an extra cherry on top of the cake for that. Just insane, absolutely insane run. There was a lot to enjoy there tonight. It definitely sounds like main official Dylan Kopech is interested in trying to clean things up and put on some better broadcasts or better shows. We are only 4 races into the season, so it is still a little bit early for these guys. But still some positives to take from it, and glad I was able to experience it with you guys here on Vidane TV.
Absolutely, and thank you to our guy that makes all this happen behind the cameras in the production truck, Paul Strickland Jr. Definitely give him a round of applause, getting you guys the action that you got to see here tonight, and any other night or afternoon or morning that we call races here at Vidane TV. I don't know what Kyle's clapping. I hope it's his hands. All right,
you said to give Paul a round of applause.
We are going to bid you a farewell, ladies and gentlemen. So from myself, Wes Rowdy Hogue, from my guest partner tonight, Kyle Young, and Paul Showtime Strickland Jr. from the producers table, we will see you next time at Vidane TV, where we do it live.